All right. So we have looked at BST insertion. Now is the time, and we have also looked at BST search. Now is the time to look at removal, which poses a little bit of challenges. And some of those challenges, some of you had indicated in when we were towards the end of trees, we were looking at, okay, what happens when a child has a node has two children, and we want to remove that, how to link it with the parent, etc. So those things are going to be kind of application dependent. In this case, the specific restriction on the binary trees as binary search trees is going to give us a leeway as to how to remove a particular value and take care of nodes with zero children, that is leaves, nodes with one child, and nodes with two children. Right. So let's look at that. So the one important point or difference in this case is that you are not given a pointer to the node. I mean, that can also be taken care of, but essentially you want to search for the node n with the value, right? So what you are removing is a value rather than a pointer to the node. And a pointer to the node is essentially going to be embedded inside removing a node containing a value, right? So let's identify that node n to be removed. If that n is a leaf, then it's okay, then you don't have to worry anything about it, and we can remove n from the parent, which also means that we need to know the parent, and that can be tracked because you are going to essentially search for the node n containing the value, which means that you are going to start from the root and go all the way to that particular leaf node. So, which means that you are going to anyway traverse through the parent, so you can keep track of the parent as the previous node, similar to singly linked list, where we, while removing a node, we were keeping track of the previous. If n has one child, right, this case was also easy, then c's child becomes n's becomes the child of n's parent. So the grandparent adopts the grandchild, right? So the grandparent is n's parent and the grandchild is n's child, so that is being adopted by n's parent, right? So that also is reasonably easy. The only case that becomes problematic is two children, right? So if n has two children, then we need to scratch our head, right? So let's see how that can be modeled. But in the meanwhile, you can also think about, is there any interesting way in which that can be done? But for that, let's look at it pictorially. So the leaf node case is removal of 3, and that seems to be easy. You just remove 3, keeping that 2 arrow right to null. So that seems to be easy. Then we try to remove 8, which has a single child, and 8 is the right child of 4, right? So the grandparent is 4, and 4's right child is now going to become 6, which is the grandchild, right? So after we remove 8, 4's right child is going to become 6. Although 6 is the left child of 8, 8 is the right child of 4, and therefore 6 is going to be replacing 8, and therefore 6 will become right child of 4, right? So I have shown it like this, but essentially that means that 4 arrow right is going to be pointing to 6. Any questions on this one? Okay. So yeah, so given this situation, now we want to remove 4, which turns out to be actually root, right, which has two children. So let's understand what is happening. We would like to actually convert this two children case, which is a little complicated case, into another simpler remove, right? What is a simpler remove? Simpler remove is either the node is a leaf, 0 children, or it has one child, right? So can we convert this complicated remove into a simpler remove? That is the question. Any suggestions on this one? How to do that? Okay. Um, Aniruddha says swap roots value with a leaf. Okay, so let's take 1 as that's a good suggestion. Let's take 1 as the leaf and let's swap the root's value with that. So 1 becomes the root and 4 is at the leaf. If 4 is at the leaf, we can remove it. That's a good idea. 4 is at the leaf, we can remove it. But then there is some problem which we have created. Right? Now 1 is the root and that has violated the BST property. So we need to augment this Aniruddha's idea with something more. Shania says replace 4 with the smallest value in the right subtree, leftmost leaf in the right subtree. Okay. Yashwant Reddy says replace with maximum of left if it exists, else minimum of right. Mayank says swap maximum value node on left side with root. Right? So all these three ideas Shania, Yashwant and Mayank have given, these seem to be extending Anirudh's idea that we need not replace with any leaf. What we could do is that we can replace with a carefully crafted value of a leaf node. Right? So, for example, in this case, can 4 be replaced with 5? That is one part. And the second part is can 4 be replaced with 2? Right? Okay, let's take both the cases. What happens? Right? So let's say that 4 is replaced with 5. If that happens, then 4, replaced meaning exchanged with 5. That means 4 is going to become root leaf node and that we can remove. 5 has become root. 5 has become root and that actually satisfies the BST property. And therefore we don't need to do anything more. At least in this case. Okay, let's think about some other case. Let's talk about 4 being exchanged with 2. So now 4 comes at the level of 2 and it has one child and we know how to take care of that. Right? And 2 has become the root and that also satisfies the BST property. So that is interesting. So exchanging 4 with 2 or 5 seems to be doing some wonders. Let's check with 6. Since that is the only case remaining in this example, what if we exchange 4 with 6? Now 6 becomes the root and that violates the property because 5 cannot appear in the right hand side of 6. So there is something special about 2 and 5 and that speciality is what Shania and Yashwant Reddy have mentioned, that if we are looking at the sorted array having all these values and we want to remove 5, the next root has to be the one which is just to the left or just to the right of this 4, which means the just to the left is 2 and just to the right is 5, and therefore these two values will not violate the BST property if these become root. Right? So that is the idea which we will use in this case. But is it guaranteed that one of these will always lead to a simpler remove? Right? So that we have to think. Okay? So let me go ahead. So that is what we did. So remove 4 can be converted to either remove 5, remove 6, remove 2 or remove 1. But which one is going to be the best in general is what is suggested by you guys. So the general strategy is that copy the smallest value from the right subtree. And I have not mentioned it here, but I'll probably ask you later, is that you can as well do copy the largest value from the left subtree. Right? One of these two is going to give you the answer, and that is where our find min and find max are going to be helpful, where we can find the min in the right subtree 4.right or the max in 4.left. Okay. Any questions on this strategy? We'll look at how to get this working, but any issues with this strategy? Any concerns? Okay, so then I think this should be understood that node a value just after the value to be, and here in this case we are talking about 4 as the root, but that need not always be the case. 4 could be an internal node having 2 children, but we can as well apply the same strategy at that subtree. And we need to recursively delete that smallest value. Let's see if that is possible, right? So let's understand this a little bit. So what we have done is we have replaced that 4 with 5, and now we are going to remove this 5, and that seems to be doable. If x is the value to be deleted and y is the smallest value in the right subtree, x is 4 and y is 5, there are no values in the BST between x and y. That is the guarantee, right? Because that's what we have said in the sorted order, right? So the node with y, that is 5, cannot have 2 children. That is one very interesting part of this particular. So this is the proof which is required, that when you replace 4 with 5, is it possible that 5 can have 2 children? So the 2 children case, are we really simplifying, or we are getting into an infinite recursion? Right? So since 5 is the next value after 4 and there is no value in between, that means 5 cannot have a left child. Can 5 have a right child? Yes, that is possible. Right? So 5 can have 5.5 as the right child in the original tree. So that is possible. Is this concept clear? That node y, which is becoming the next, which is the next value, which is becoming the root of this subtree, it cannot have 2 children. Is this clear? In a similar manner, we can say that if we are replacing this x with the value y, which is the largest of the left subtree, then that node also cannot have a right child. Right? So y cannot have a left child in this case, and if in the left subtree case, y cannot have the right child. So that should be understood, because the one that you are replacing is the next larger value than y. So when y replaces x after removing original y, the BST structure is not going to get affected, right? So this is the crux of the observation, and once you have this observation, then by and large it is going to be implementation. And that indicates that removal of a node with 2 children is going to happen exactly once. It's not going to repeat itself if we replace that in this manner. If we had replaced 4 with, let's say, 6 or some other node in the left subtree or right subtree, then it could have resulted in this 2 children case into another 2 children case, which would have probably been solved later by replacing it further with 1 child case or 0 children case. But if we follow this, then we don't get into this recursive 2 children case. Anish says the replacement implementation is done by changing the pointer references or by just changing the value of the node. As of now, we are replacing the value. We are not replacing the pointer. The value needs to be copied from, let's say, 5 to 4. But this can also be implemented in the other way that you are saying. So since we know that in this case the original node was 4, so what we could do is that 4's left and right children can be copied as 5's left and right children in this case, and then delete that particular node, because what is likely to happen is that we'll have to delete one of the nodes. So you could do it by copying the values, you could do it by changing the pointers also. Either way should be all right. The advantage of changing only the pointers is that you can guarantee constant time operation. If you copy the values, then it is going to be dependent on the structure size, which is user dependent, right? In this case, we are just taking integer as the value, but it could be an arbitrarily large structure. So it's best to be done using a pointer manipulation. Good question. Any other suggestions? Okay, Murari says, can you please explain the last point again? It means converting the removal of any node is converted to one side null pointer replacement, which does not change the structure of a tree. No, it's not that it doesn't change the structure of the tree. It does change some structure of the tree. It's just that it does not violate the BST property. So when you move that 5 to the root, when 4 was the root originally, that 5 is not going to violate the BST. You don't need to change anything else to satisfy the BST property. In contrast, if we would have moved 6 as the root instead of 4, then 5 would become the right child of 6, and that would violate the BST property. But since there is nothing in between 4 and 5, similarly 2 and 4, if you make 2 as the root, I mean replace 4 with 2 or replace 4 with 5, still you are going to maintain the sorted order, right? If you do in order traverse. I'll give you a larger example and hopefully this will become clear. But if you have that question, please feel free to ask again at that time. I'll come back to this. So, okay, so let's understand this. So we are going to replace that 5 here. So 5 comes here, and now we would like to remove this node. Right? So remove 4 has resulted into remove 5. This we know how to do, and that can be done. So let's understand that. So now let's take a little complicated example, not too complicated, but little complicated. Here 2 has 2 children, and therefore this is the scratch your head case. I recommend let's try to do this on this particular structure. I'll get you started. So what we need to do is to replace this 2 with a simpler case. So which means that we have to choose either the largest in the left subtree or the smallest in the right subtree. And that if you replace this 2 with, then you don't violate the BST property. Please check that. So if I put 3 here or 1 here, it doesn't violate the BST property. In contrast, if I would have put in 4, it violates the BST property because 5 would have appeared on the right hand side of 4. If I put 5 here, then that would also violate the BST property because then 3 would have appeared on the right hand side of 5. I hope this is clear. Murari, is this reasonable that you can replace 2 with 1 or 3, which are just to the left or just to the right in the sorted order, but you cannot replace it with anything else?
I just wanted to ask the last point, like whenever we want to replace node with 2 children, it will never happen that once it is replaced, it will never happen that it has 2 children. Does it mean that? Okay.
Yeah, so that point, oh, I see. Okay, I'll just repeat that. So why is it going to be the case that 3 cannot have 2 children? So let's assume that 3 can have another child here. What would be its value? Its value has to be smaller than 3, but since it is also appearing in the right subtree of 2, therefore its value has to be greater than 2 also. And that means that 3 is not the smallest value in the right subtree. This can be 2.5. And if it is 2.5, then 3 was not the smallest child in the right subtree. 2.5 was. And then if you talk about 2.5, it has currently 0 children. Again, it can have a right child, 2.75, but it cannot have a left child. And exactly the opposite happens when we are talking about the largest value in the left subtree. That therefore 3 cannot have the smallest value in the right subtree cannot have 2 children. In fact, it cannot have a left child. That is the main part. It cannot have a left child. It's a stronger guarantee. And the largest value in the left subtree cannot have a right child, because again the same case will arise. So can one have a right child? Right. So can one have a child here? It cannot, because its value has to be between 1 and 2. But then we said that 1 is the largest child in the left subtree. And therefore, two children removal cannot result using this strategy into another removal of a node having two children. Okay. Any other concerns, questions? Okay, thanks, Murali. Any other concerns, questions? Okay, so you tell me how the structure is going to be finally. And that, by the way, this also indicates, this particular example also indicates that choosing a particular node to replace the to be deleted value can be a strategic decision. You need not stick to a particular way of implementing it. You can actually do some cost benefit analysis. For example, replacing 2 with 5, sorry, with 3 is less beneficial than replacing 2 with 1. I mean, 1 does not have any child and it's just connected here, so you can just cut off this link and that is going to be sufficient and replace this with 1. Whereas in this case, you will have to make 5 point to 4 after removing 3 and moving 3 here. Right, so there is some slightly larger amount of work that needs to be done. It doesn't change the complexity, it just changes the absolute running time. So you can think of having a hybrid strategy which chooses between the right subtrees node or the left subtrees node accordingly. Murari says, but is replacing 2 with 3 more beneficial for future? Very good. So this is the trade-off that we might have in such cases, that the other part that will come into picture, and not always, I mean, in this case it so happens that replacing 1 continues to maintain the height of the tree as it was. But as Murari suggests, if we had replaced with 3, we would have reduced the height of the tree and the balance of the heights across the two subtrees. That would have reduced. I mean, the balance would have increased. But if I remove 1, then that is going to increase that imbalance. So that would also be an important point from the criteria, and that will become more and more important as we look at height balanced binary search trees. So that's a very good point, Murari. We'll come back to that. I mean, when we look at the height balanced trees. Any other concerns, questions? I hope this is clear. That means that I can give you some classwork, right, soon. Okay, but let's finish this. So I can replace it with 3. So now 3 is to be 3 has become the root of that subtree, and now this needs to be removed. That we know how to do. So 4 becomes the left child of, since 3 was the left child of 5, 4 becomes the left child of 5. Right? So that is what happens. Let's do this classwork. Right? So you have to insert 50, insert 40. I mean, you have to keep modifying the tree, and then remove 20, insert 46, and then remove 31. Right? So please try that and show me how the state is going to be after every stage. Right? So meanwhile, I'll take up any questions if there are. You can just write the values in level order fashion, and that will give me a good indication of how the structure is. So insert 50. Let's talk about the first structure. And once again, the classwork we are doing so that it's not always that we want to get the correct answer. It's that you should be able to keep aside your phones and work out so that you understand the insertion and removal in this case properly. And if there are any questions in this process, please feel free to ask. Okay. So what will be 50's parent? Okay, Shania, Sampriti, Rishabh, all of them say 44. Bharat says 44. Okay. Okay, let's understand that. Right. So we compare with 60, 50 should be on the left. We compare with 20, 50 should be on the right. We compare with 52, 50 should be on the left. We compare with 31, 50 should be on the right. We compare with 44, 50 should be on the right, and therefore we will add it here. Right, so that is what is happening. Okay, sounds good. Now let's insert 40. Its parent is going to be, okay, Shania has given 60, 40, 40, 87, 10, 52, 44, 50, and 46. There seems to be something missing. 31 seems to be missing. 20 seems to be missing. Shania, I maybe wanted to say 2087, 1052, 44. No, I think 31. Oh, is it that you have completed removal of 31 also? Oh, I see. Is this the final tree that you are suggesting? Oh, I see. Interesting. I think we are a little slow for you. We'll come back to your answer after we have completed all of this. That's really great. Okay. Anantu says that 44 is going to become the parent of 40. Mayank has given that is 60, 2087, 1050. 2 it should be, then 31, 44, and then 40, 50. Okay, so Mayank also agrees with Anantu. Murari says 60, 1080, 1087. So 2087 maybe 50. I think there is some problem. 52, then 40. Then 44, 50, 46. I'm assuming that Murari's answer is also for the whole tree. Again, I think this answer differs with what Shania has written. So I think we'll have an interesting discussion. Sai Charan has given 60, 1087. Okay. 52. 44, 40, 50, 46. Okay, this is third answer. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. It's you have nothing to be sorry about. In fact, it's good. Very good. Okay, so we have three different answers for the whole subtree. Let's for the whole tree. Let's understand that. But let's come to that, right? So we are going step by step. So insertion of 40 is again compare with 60, go to the left, compare with 20, go to the right, go to the left, go to the right, go to the left, and insert it here, right? So that is what is going to be 40's parent is going to be 44. Now we want to remove 20, right? Removal of 20. Oh, I see. Okay, I understand what might be happening. Since there are two ways in which you can remove when you have two children case, therefore you might get different answers, right? Different structures. The BST property might still be satisfied, but you might get different structures. So therefore, there are probably multiple answers. But let's check that, right? So okay, let's do it both ways. So let's say that I'm going to replace this 20. This 20 can be replaced with what values? 20 can be, since it's a two children case, scratch your head case, 20 needs to be replaced with two values. Shania says 10 and 40. Is that correct? Mayank says 10 and 31. Rishabh says 10 and 31. Murari says 10 and 31. Bharat says 10 and 31. Yashwant Reddy also says 10 and Shania, do you agree with that? Yeah. So it has to be the largest in the left subtree, which is 10, or the smallest in the right subtree, which is not 40. It is happening to be 31, right? So that's an important point, that the smallest in the right subtree or the largest in the left subtree might not be a leaf, right? But we know that it cannot have a left child if we are talking about the right subtree. Okay, so that sounds good. Now when you have to replace this 20 with 31, so let's say that that has happened, and then we don't have to worry about the BST property. BST property is still satisfied. Still satisfied meaning once you remove this particular node, right? And once you remove this node, then 44 is going to become the left child of 52, and you get the BST property, right? So that seems to be one way of doing this. The other one is replace this 20 with 10, and then you are done. And you just remove this 10. That should be okay, right? So that is another way in which that can be done. And let's do the harder part here. So we replace it with 31, 52, and then 44 is the left child. 40 and 50 remain the same. Right? Any questions on this one? Okay, Sai Charan has changed the answer, is it? Okay, good. Yeah, no problem, that's fine. Okay. Now let's insert 46. As you can see, insertion is little easy now once you know the difficult part. So go to the left of 60, go to the right of 31, go to the left of 52, go to the right of 44, and go to the left of 50 to insert 46. Okay. Now let's do the final removal of 31. So whether you removed 10 or whether you removed 31, either way should be okay. And therefore you might have two answers there. And because of the second removal of 31, we might get further different answers. So either of these four answers might be all right. So once again, you can do the easy part, which is replacing 31 with 10, and then you don't have to worry about anything else. Alternatively, you can take the smallest value in the right subtree. In this case, it is going to be 40. Just above 31 is 40, and therefore you can replace 31 with 40, and again you are done. Any questions on this? Okay, so I'll request Shania, Mayank, Murari, Sai Charan, all of them to check their answers. You got correct answers. I mean, correct answers are probably 4 of them. I have just shown 1. Just check that you have done it correct. Okay. Any questions on this one? Any concerns? Any case to be tried? Anybody wants to add, remove something else? All right. So I'm assuming that everybody is on the same page. Let's analyze the complexity of this operation. Right. So what will be the time complexity of remove? Order height. Okay. So we have to, since we are talking about the, okay, Aniruddha says height square. So we have to talk in terms of the height, because first thing is we have to do is to traverse to that particular node, right? Starting from the root. Now that is definitely dependent on the height, because we might, in the worst case, I might go all the way from the root to the leaf. So that is definitely required. Once I have reached that place, then there are three cases: 0 children, 1 child, and 2 children. 0 and 1 are constant time operations, assuming that you have access to the parent. What about the 2 children case? Okay, so we have 2 suggestions for height square and 3 suggestions for order height. 4 for order height. Okay. So maybe I'll ask Anirudh and Anish why they think that it is going to be height square. Yeah, Abhishek is also saying order height. Sai Charan says, don't we have to report the time complexity in terms of n? That's a good point. Yes, so n is a variable which is going to govern the height. So in the sense that order h is going to be in the worst case order n. However, order n is not always the case, right? Because the height might be much smaller than order n. For example, order h could be log n also, and therefore we get a tighter bound if we use height. With order n also it is okay, because it is upper bounding the height, but we'll get a slightly loose bound. That's the reason we would prefer to have order h. Anish says log n. Okay, Saichan says, if so, we can assume worst case for the binary tree, that is a linked list, as take order n. Yes, that is correct. Order n is the worst case of order h. That is correct. But order n is not always the case. And therefore, if we specify the time complexity in terms of order h, we are going to give more information. Aniruddha says not h square, but 2h or h. Okay. Aniruddha has changed the party now. How about you, Anish? Okay, but can somebody from the H party tell me why it is going to be order H only for 2 children removal? Anish says when we replace one node, it is possible we need to replace subsequent ones as well in the worst case. That is correct. That is correct. But how many subsequent ones? That is the question. So a 2 children case, is it going to result in another 2 children case, right? So this is precisely the question that Anish is asking. That is precisely the question which is going to decide the time complexity. And if 2 children case results in another 2 children case, then we have to be very careful. Thankfully, with the property that we are replacing it with the smallest child in the right or the largest child in the left, node in the left, we are not going to convert a 2 children case into another 2 children case, right? Okay, good. And if it gets converted into 1 child or 2 children case, we know already its complexity is going to be, just the replacement is going to be order 1. The traversal still is required for both the 0 child case and the 1 child case, right? You have to reach that particular node. Because removal is with respect to the parameter passed to it is the value. So for getting to that node, we still require order h time. Beyond that, order 1 for the 0 child, order 1 for the 1 child, and again order 1 for the 2 children case, and therefore the complexity continues to remain order h. Okay, Mayank says let's assume node to be delayed is at height k. So we are traveling till height k, and then for swapping, traveling h minus k height, so total h, correct. Order h to locate the element, subsequently order h to locate the replacement in the 2 children worst case, correct. Abhishek says find main operation and finding node to remove both can be done separately in order h time, right? So this is very clearly should be understood that these are concatenated operations. These are not nested operations. We are traversing to the node, and then for that node we are doing some operation, which is after this traversal we are performing another traversal and replacement. These are two concatenated operations. It's not that while traversing each node I am performing some order h of computation. If that would have been the case, then it would have been order h squared. But yeah, as you guys have correctly specified, the traversal is going to be only order h. Good. I think I have time complexities for other operations also here. Searching time complexity is order h, right? So one may get tempted to conclude that it is order log n because we are maintaining this binary search tree property. So you are going to the left and going to the right, but we have not put any bound on the height of the tree, and therefore this bound is wrong, because in the worst case the height of the tree could be order n, as we have been discussing, and therefore the search bound is essentially tree height, right? Which could be order n, need not be log n, and we'll come to log n bound as we look at height balanced trees. Insertion, again it is going to be that of search, because you have to essentially search there and insert there, right, as soon as you reach the leaf. Note that insertion always happens at the leaf. Insertion never creates an internal node. And the removal, as we have discussed, there may be 2 remove calls, still the complexity doesn't change and it remains same as the searching. So yeah, so if BST becomes height balanced, and there are multiple of them, AVL trees, splade trees, red black trees, B trees, multiple of them actually, we are definitely going to look at AVL trees. If time permits and your interest is there, we can look at splade trees. We are not going to look at red black trees or B trees. Okay. Any questions so far on the time complexity? Okay, so let's finish some questions about the which you might have, and if you have more, feel free to ask. What if a BST has duplicates, right? So what happens if it has duplicates? Abhishek is asking which is better representation, order height or order n in BST case? In the context of maintaining the suggesting the complexity, order height is a better representation of the complexity, because order height essentially means that it is bounded by order n, and therefore order height is going to give you more information than order n. So for example, in our case also, if we say that search is order n, that is not always the case. I mean, the height could be, in the smallest case it could be log n. But if we say order n, yes, that is correct, but that becomes loose. Whereas if we say order height, then that is always going to be the tightest bound, whether it is log n or anything in between. Right? Note that the height was not the input parameter. Right? So we are giving this bound on height, which is not an input parameter. Input parameter is only n. But we are devising this height because we are looking at the structure, and then we are saying this is an internal parameter which is upper bounded by the input parameter n, and I am going to give my complexity in terms of this. So in some cases you might be it might be better to give the time complexity or space complexity or energy complexity in terms of some other parameters which are upper bounded by the input, some function of input parameter. Right? So that might turn out to be giving more information. Any other concerns, questions here? Okay, so what happens? Okay, sure. What happens if BST has duplicates? Okay, Murari says one possibility is that we can maintain a count at each node so that whenever we reach that particular node and we want to insert duplicates, we can go on incrementing that count. Right? If that node is not present, 0 to 1 will require creation of the node. 1 to in other counts are going to require just incrementing of that, but that is going to have similar complexity as the search or the original insert and remove are not going to create any problem. The other way around is that can you maintain multiple nodes in the tree with the duplicates? As soon as you do that, that is going to cause a problem because then you have to traverse the tree for taking care of all those duplicates. Then the complexity might turn out to be more than just the height. In the worst case, it can actually become order n because you can have arbitrary number of duplicates. Right? So that comes into picture. But typically, BSTs do not contain duplicates. In rare applications, you might have to maintain that. Aniruddha says we can change BST structure to left for left subtree and greater than equal to for right. So that is correct. You can actually maintain multiple copies of the nodes in the same BST. So 4 will appear at 2 nodes. Like that we can maintain. So then the complexities will change. That we have to be careful about. Can a BST node contain strings or other types? Any suggestions? Chania says it can contain comparable types. Murari says, how do we remove the node if the case is greater than equal to for right? Aniruddha says, as long as order and comparison is defined. Murari, I'll come to your question. Yes, so as long as there is a comparison possible across two entities, that is two objects of the same type, that is one is smaller than the other. Right? That means that you are able to order them somehow. Then you can have any type. In fact, for many of these newly user-defined types, you might have to write a comparison operator, right? So for example, if I say roll number is a key. Now roll number is not something which the system knows how to compare, but I can define a less than operator onto that or a comparison operator, and that gives you a way to order these elements. Mayank says it can contain character because then we can compare with ASCII value. That is one possibility. Sure. Aniruddha says lexicographic for strings. That is one possibility. Sure. There could be others. For example, you can have something like dates, right? Dates could be in different orders, and you might want to order them in a particular way, right? Where you need to talk about YY first, and then MM, and then DD. Right? So lexicographic is not always the possibility. Sometimes it works out. Right? For example, names, etc. Lexicographic works out. Even under names, you might want to distinguish between the first name and the last name and sort based on last name first and then first name, etc. So all of that complication comes in. So in general, user might have to define her own comparator operator. Yes, Aicharan says just holding a count might not work if the node has two parameters. Where BST is made based on one of them, but the nodes are unique with respect to the other. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's an interesting question. So Saicharan says now a node in this BST has two parameters. One is the one which on which the BST is made, that is the comparison is made. And the other one where BST is made based on one of them, but the nodes are unique, right, with respect to the other parameter. So if the nodes are unique based on the other parameter, your all of the search better be organized based on this unique parameter rather than the other one. which is non-unique, right? So, but you might have to do the counting for the other one. That is okay. I think that will most probably, will that create a problem? So you have two keys. I mean, there is one key and then there is another parameter which is probably duplicate. For example, you can have a unique roll number, but there might be other key, for example, hostel, right? So that hostel might not be unique. So you can have, but as long as you have unique roll number, you will never get into a situation where you require multiple of the other parameter, right? Unless you want to have that as, let's say, mobile number, right, where the same student might have multiple mobile numbers, in which case it doesn't make sense to have another node containing the same roll number. You are right that you can have a counter or an array for the other parameter, which you can go on changing as you insert a particular, let's say, mobile number for the same student, right? That should be okay. I think that should be okay. Sai Charan, you have any concerns on this one?
Sir, so what we can do is like we can have another pointer which holds a linked list of values with the same first parameter and varying the second parameter.
Yeah, so the second parameter, assuming that that is the non-unique one, that is not really getting used for the searching, right? So it is more like an internal parameter, like mobile number.
No, we are searching for the second parameter.
Oh, but then BST structure is not going to be helpful for that, right? Then you will have to search the whole tree, because the search tree is based on the unique parameter. If you want to base the search tree on the second parameter, that is not a good idea, but let's say that you do that, then you will require duplicate nodes, and then you are right that the counter will not work. You are right, because the two values might turn out to be really duplicates, and then you might have to keep, yeah, that's possible. That's possible. So two students might have the same hostel, and two students are separate, so there is no point in maintaining the counter of how many students, etc. You can still maintain that list inside that node, but it becomes a little clumsy, since in this case you actually have the unique parameter, which is roll number. It will be best to search based on that. Sure, good. Yeah,
like when both the informations are given, like so for our convenience, they first mention that say the BST parameter is so and so, and once you go there, look for the person whose other unique parameter is also specified. So we can traverse first using the BST parameter.
Yeah, and within that, then you will require. Yeah, so that will either require duplicates, or you can have a nested structure where each node can have multiple of the students embedded into them, who are satisfying that non-unique key. That is correct. But then the complexity need not be order height. We'll have to get into the complexity of searching for that particular student within the hostel, for example, the same hostel, which could be large. In fact, in the worst case, order n. Okay, sounds good. I'll just quickly finish this question and then we'll stop. We have already exceeded the time. Those who have classes, feel free to go ahead. How do we remove the node if Murari is asking, how do we remove the node if the case is greater than equal to for right? So that is correct. You can have multiple nodes satisfying the property, and you will have to remove multiple of them. And therefore the complexity will not remain order h. It will become order h, maybe multiplied by multiplicity, maximum multiplicity of a node, or in the worst case, you can as well say that it is order n. Okay. Any other concerns, questions here? Yeah, sorry about the delay today, but yeah, we'll finish these questions tomorrow and start with the next part of this. We'll stop here. If there are any questions, feel free to ask.